Hey everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, Angelina and I are diving into a topic that honestly hits home for pretty much everyone. It's something we all encounter, whether we like it or not. Pain. But more specifically, how pain is temporary, discipline is permanent.
That's right, John, and it's such a powerful mantra, isn't it? I think we often shy away from pain, or we see it as a sign that something's gone wrong, that we should stop. But what if it's actually the opposite? What if that discomfort, that exhaustion, that little bit of doubt is actually telling you that you're on the right track, that growth is happening?
Absolutely. Think about it in any context. Whether you're hitting the gym, trying to learn a new skill, or even building a business, there's always that point where it just feels hard. You're tired, you're frustrated, maybe you failed a few times. Most people, at that very point, are tempted to just throw in the towel. That's the pain talking.
And it's a very natural human response to want to avoid that discomfort, right? Our brains are wired for survival, for seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. So when we encounter it, especially when we're pushing ourselves, that little voice in our head says, hey, this isn't good, stop, go back to comfort. But that's where discipline comes in, to override that primal instinct.
Exactly. Discipline teaches you to endure what is temporary for the sake of what is permanent. It's about looking beyond that immediate discomfort and focusing on the long-term gain. The early mornings, the extra hours, the sacrifices, none of those things last forever. But the discipline you build from pushing through them, that stays with you. That's the real reward.
I often think about it in terms of running. When you first start, or when you're training for a marathon, there's a point where your lungs burn, your legs ache, and every fiber of your being just wants to slow down or stop. That's the pain. But if you keep going, if you push through, you build endurance. That pain fades, but your strength, your capacity, that remains. And not just for running, but it translates into other areas of your life too.
It's so true. That resilience you develop, that mental toughness, it spills over. What once felt absolutely unbearable, like running an extra mile, suddenly becomes manageable. And what used to stop you dead in your tracks? It becomes fuel. You start to crave that feeling of pushing past your perceived limits, because you know what's on the other side.
Yeah, it's a total mindset shift, isn't it? Instead of thinking, ugh, this is so hard, you start to think, this is hard, and that means I'm growing. This is a sign of progress. It redefines what hard means. It's no longer a wall, but a stepping stone.
And that's the fundamental difference between those who achieve great things and those who stay stuck. Those who avoid pain, who always choose the path of least resistance, they stay stuck in comfort. They might be comfortable, but they're not progressing. Whereas those who accept pain, who lean into it, they earn progress.
I've definitely seen that in my own life. There have been times, especially early in my career, where I had to take on tasks that were way outside my comfort zone. They were daunting. There was a lot of self-doubt, a lot of late nights, a lot of feeling like I wasn't good enough. That was pain, for sure. But looking back, every single one of those experiences, because I chose to push through, built a layer of confidence and skill that I wouldn't have otherwise.
It's like discipline turns that raw suffering, that initial pain, into a structured process. It gives it a purpose, and eventually that effort becomes part of your identity. You're not just someone who does hard things. You become someone who is resilient, who is disciplined.
Exactly. You start to embody it. It's not just about getting to the finish line of a specific goal. It's about who you become in the process. That's the permanent part. The goal might be temporary, the achievement might be temporary, but the character you forge, that's what lasts.
And this isn't to say that all pain is good pain. We're not talking about self-sabotage or unnecessary suffering. We're talking about choosing the right kind of pain. The pain of effort, the pain of growth, the pain of putting in the work, rather than the pain of regret later on.
That's a crucial distinction. The pain of regret, that's a whole different beast, isn't it? That's the pain of what if, the pain of missed opportunities, the pain of knowing you could have done more or been more. That's a much heavier, much more permanent kind of pain than the temporary burn of a workout or the mental strain of learning something new.
It really is. And the beauty of discipline is that it's a choice we make every single day. It's not about being motivated 24/7, because motivation ebbs and flows. Discipline is what steps in when motivation takes a vacation. It's showing up, even when you don't feel like it, because you committed to yourself and your goals.
Absolutely. It's the silent force that keeps you going. I remember training for a half marathon, and there were days when it was pouring rain or I was just so exhausted from work and my body was screaming no. But I had a schedule, a commitment, and that discipline was the only thing that got me out the door. And every single time, I felt so much better afterward, not just physically but mentally for having kept that promise to myself.
That feeling of accomplishment, of knowing you overcame that internal resistance, it's incredibly powerful. And it compounds. The more you do it, the easier it gets to choose discipline over comfort. It builds momentum. You start to trust yourself more, which is invaluable.
It really does, and I think part of the struggle for many people is that we live in a world that constantly sells us on easy buttons and instant gratification. We're told we can have results without effort, success without struggle, but that's just not how lasting change and true growth happen.
That's a great point. We've become accustomed to avoiding any friction. But life isn't a smooth, frictionless ride. And if you're not encountering some friction, some resistance, then you're probably not moving forward. That friction is the pain we're talking about, and it's essential for refining us, for shaping us.
So, how do we actually cultivate this discipline? It's easy to talk about, but putting it into practice consistently can be tough. For me, it starts with small, non-negotiable habits, like getting up at the same time every day, no matter what, or doing that one task I've been dreading first thing in the morning.
I completely agree. Start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick one area where you want to build discipline, whether it's exercise, learning, or a work project. And then, make a commitment to yourself to endure the moment, to stay consistent. Even if it's just 15 minutes of discomfort, push through it.
And celebrate those small wins. Acknowledging that you pushed through, even when it was hard, reinforces the behavior and makes it more likely you'll do it again. It builds that positive feedback loop that helps discipline become less of a struggle and more of a natural inclination.
Absolutely. And also, being kind to yourself when you slip up. Because you will, it's part of being human. The key isn't perfection, it's consistency over time. If you miss a day, don't let it derail you for a week. Just get back on track the next day. That's discipline too.
Yeah, avoiding the all-or-nothing trap is huge. So often we think if we can't do it perfectly, we shouldn't do it at all. But imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time, and that imperfect action, over time, builds incredible discipline.
It truly does. So, to wrap things up, I think the core message here is incredibly empowering. Don't fear the pain. Understand it for what it is, a temporary visitor, a signal of growth. Embrace it, lean into it, and let it sharpen you. Because while that pain will absolutely pass, the discipline you earn from it, that inner strength, that will stay with you forever and shape every single aspect of your future.
Couldn't have said it better myself, John. Choose the pain of effort over the pain of regret. Be consistent, build that discipline, and watch how it transforms not just what you achieve, but who you become. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope this has given you something really powerful to think about and apply in your own lives.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. Keep pushing, keep growing.